All right, here's the Tomo. Uh, Basically, it's what I said a couple of weeks ago or last month. I don't know when. You can probably go on the chat, and you can probably find it by searching ancient slash Tomo. But I said this chart looked great, just like Dero. No, I did not play it. But anyway, here we are. So some sort of triple bottom is creating a W pattern. So I expect some sort of retrace possibly to these levels, or you can just go straight up to these levels before we have a retrace before it tries to take these highs. I'm not sure if that's going to happen right away. Look at these indicators, some sort of double bottom. They're not completely oversold on the weekly, but daily they are. Right now it's at immediate resistance. We will take out the fib. Here I'm going to take out the fib. We take out the fib from that move to this high, even though the weekly hasn't closed. We can probably say if this trend is really bullish, a retrace to 0.38 or 0.23 zone, and see if it has a continuation pattern up to these highs of these wicks. Let's go down to the EMA over here. I use the Tomo KuCoin since that has a longer price history. We're gonna go over to the weekly, and the weekly is just upticking green on this MACD. So I would wait on a retrace. This is a level it has to claim to move higher, up, something like that, or down, and then goes up to these highs and then these highs. Again, this is if the right conditions are met, meaning BTC continues to consolidate, or if it pumps, alt pumps with it. So I will be cautious entering now unless you expect to break out to these highs. But I expect to retrace back to these levels, which almost lined up with a 0.38 fib. RSI weekly is barely ticking oversold on a bullish trend like this. It's 80, so it's barely going there. So I would start looking for a retrace on the lower time frame, even though it's really not happening here. So this is just another way to do this. You can say from swing high to swing low, swing high to swing low, swing high from swing low. Same thing here, swing high to swing low. So expect some sort of retrace. If you want to take it now, you can take it now with your stop loss below here. But I expect some sort of retrace pretty soon. This is nice. It's a nice little dip. Maybe you could do something like this dip, consolidate a little bit here before it goes a little higher. We're starting to see some bearish divergence. 3-day, I expect the daily to follow. Let's look at the EMAs. So it would be great if it comes down to retest the 233 or the 200 EMA around this zone or near it before it makes an attempt to go higher. We go to the weekly. It's on top of the 100 EMA, which is a good sign. And again, I expect a small a consolidation around this level. But since it's on top of the 100 EMA, I'm not sure how far down it's going to be that dip. If you're looking at it from the EMA perspective, it's above everything now. This on the daily took a bullish turn. So it could, you know what, this actually could pop straight through. But since the weekly is done so great, again, I'm expecting a small retrace back to these levels near the 100 EMA before it try to go back up to these highs. So that's my take on it. Honestly, this chart is to me this chart is bullish on a high time frame, and I said it. Buy the dips on Tomo, buy the dips on Dero. So it's the same thing with this one. Buy the dips. All right. So it cleared this zone here in the monthly, which if we go to a lower time frame, it has to be a critical level that it cleared. Let's see how this level lines up on the lower time frame. We go down to the weekly right here. So this flipped it here, came down to retest on a lower time frame, possibly in the daily. It's trying to do it on the 3-day. Yep, right here the daily, and went up, reclaimed it, went up, came down. So I wouldn't be surprised if it tries to come back down here before it goes higher. On the 3 days, something of what occurred on the daily over here before it goes up. Let's see what zone that lines up with the fib. But the weekly is approaching immediate resistance. So honestly, this one's like neutral, but it's a neutral chart. It's showing bullish aspect in lower time frame that it wants to go up to these wicks. 0.23, that's a 0.38. We're talking about 63.21, and this zone over here is 60.85. So it's a little much deeper than the fib levels we were looking at. It was there to there. So oh, look, it lines up with a 0.38. Wow. So I will look around here or the 0.23, but just see how price develops, consolidates. It has to break that highs, but I take this on the breakout. I would not take it now, to be honest with you, but that's just me.